For a long time, Mr. Joseph, a 72-year-old man, felt that his life was nothing more than a series of worries and an endless effort to fulfill responsibilities. He had lived his entire life for his family, his work, and society, but he had never taken the time to ask himself, what truly makes me happy? It was a simple question, yet one that had never crossed his mind for decades. Joseph lived in a small suburban town outside New York, where he had built a career as a respected and successful engineer. Known for his dedication and sense of responsibility, he worked tirelessly to fulfill every role in his life. From being a model father to a devoted husband, Joseph never allowed himself to fail. However, that success came at a cost. Behind the titles and wealth he had accumulated were sacrifices he silently bore: deteriorating health, abandoned dreams from his youth, and above all, a perpetual sense of exhaustion from constantly meeting others' expectations. One crisp autumn day, as he sat on a bench in the nearby park, Joseph watched the golden leaves falling and felt a deep heaviness in his heart. For the first time, he realized that everything he had accumulated, wealth, achievements, and accolades, no longer held any meaning. He was no longer young enough to chase grand dreams, nor did he have the time to undo what he had lost. Yet, what troubled him the most was a sense of emptiness within, a void he had never allowed himself to acknowledge. "I've lived my whole life without truly living for myself," he murmured. That thought was like a lightning bolt piercing the darkness of his mind. It made him realize that it was time for a change, time to embark on a journey to rediscover the meaning of life. From that day forward, Joseph resolved to live differently. He no longer felt the need to please everyone, whether it was his family, his former colleagues, or society at large. He wanted to start with the simplest things. He picked up a small notebook, where he began jotting down his daily thoughts and feelings. The notebook quickly became his trusted companion, helping him understand himself better. On the first day, he wrote, "Today I feel lighter because I no longer care about pleasing others." It was a short but profound line, marking the beginning of his journey toward true freedom in his soul. Joseph realized that, after 70 years of living, he had earned the right to say no without feeling guilty. He was no longer bound by judgmental stares or the unsolicited opinions of others. For the first time in his life, he felt truly free. On a bright morning, Joseph shared his newfound perspective with an old friend. Aging isn't just an end, it's a gift, an opportunity to live authentically. "I've spent too much time chasing what others said was important, but now I see that happiness doesn't come from others' approval. It comes from embracing who I truly am." The days that followed were marked by small yet meaningful changes. Joseph woke up earlier, spent time watching the sunrise, and savored his coffee without the rush of his previous routine. He turned off his phone, stopped checking emails, and instead took long walks in the park, soaking in the beauty of nature. These simple moments brought him a joy he had never experienced before. Joseph also decided to declutter his life. He began organizing his home, letting go of items that no longer served a purpose. Objects that once seemed indispensable became burdens he no longer needed. With each donation or gift, he felt like he was shedding invisible weights from his shoulders. In addition, he learned to say no to relationships that no longer brought him joy or value. Previously, he had felt an obligation to maintain every relationship, whether with friends, relatives, or former colleagues. But now, he prioritized quality over quantity. He chose to keep people in his life who genuinely cared for and understood him, rather than those who drained his energy. Joseph also started exploring hobbies he had always wanted to try, but had never given himself permission to pursue. He joined an art class, where he found joy in expressing himself without fear of judgment. He even took up learning the guitar, a dream he had set aside in his youth. Every day, he discovered joy in small things, making his life feel more meaningful. Looking back, Joseph realized that deciding to change his life hadn't been easy, but it had been necessary. He not only found freedom in his soul, but also uncovered a new version of himself, one that was more authentic and truly happy. "Aging isn't the end," Joseph said. "It's a chance to begin a new journey, free from the pressures and expectations of others. It's a time to live authentically, love yourself, and seek the true meaning of life." From a man once burdened by emptiness and directionless, Joseph transformed into a symbol of freedom and joy in later life. His journey serves as a powerful reminder that it's never too late to start over and focus on what truly matters. 9 important lessons that bring benefits in old age. Old age is a unique journey where the lessons accumulated over the years become a source of inspiration to live more fully. In this article, we will explore 9 important lessons that bring benefits in old age through the story of Mr. Joseph, a 72-year-old man who rediscovered the meaning of life. 1. Letting go of others' judgments. Throughout his life, Joseph tried to please everyone around him, from colleagues to family and society. He used to live in fear of being judged, constantly questioning himself. Am I doing the right thing? Am I earning others' respect? These thoughts became an invisible burden weighing on his soul. However, when Joseph turned 70, he realized that others' opinions do not define his self-worth. He shared, "When I stopped worrying about being judged, it felt like the greatest weight had been lifted off my shoulders." Joseph began living authentically. He started trying things he once considered inappropriate for his age, like joining a salsa class or experimenting with painting. These experiences brought him pure joy and freedom. Joseph understood that living authentically not only brought him lightness, but also inspired those around him. 2. Reassessing the value of material possessions. Joseph shared that his house used to be filled with items he had accumulated over the years. From luxurious furniture to souvenirs from around the world, everything seemed meaningful at the time of purchase, but eventually became burdensome. He began a journey of decluttering, a philosophy he believed led to true freedom. He donated items and gave away things he no longer needed. These items have served their purpose. "Now, I need space more than material possessions," he said. This process not only freed up physical space, but also brought him mental clarity. Joseph realized that happiness does not come from owning things, but from the sense of freedom that comes from not being tied down by material possessions. 3. Learning to say no to toxic relationships. Not all relationships bring joy. On his journey, Joseph realized that some friendships only brought negativity. Constant complaints, criticisms, and unsupportive attitudes from certain people drained his energy. Joseph decided to cut ties with unhealthy relationships. "I don't need to maintain every relationship, especially when they no longer add value to my life," he said. This decision brought him peace, allowing him to focus on meaningful relationships, those who shared joy and supported him on his journey. 4. Finding joy in small things. One of the greatest lessons Joseph learned was finding joy in the simplest moments. Instead of chasing grand goals, he began appreciating the little things in life. Joseph shared, "I feel happy listening to the birds sing in the morning, holding a warm cup of coffee, or enjoying a good book." These moments not only brought him joy, but also helped him connect more deeply with himself and the world around him. 5. Embracing your true self. Joseph learned to love his body, even as it aged. He saw the wrinkles on his face as stories of his life. "Every wrinkle is proof that I have lived and loved," he said. Instead of chasing society's standards of beauty, Joseph chose to live authentically and take pride in everything he had experienced. He realized that true beauty doesn't come from appearances, but from how we accept and love ourselves. 6. Trying new things. Old age is not an end, but an opportunity to explore new experiences. Joseph started pursuing hobbies he had missed out on, such as learning to play the guitar or joining a cooking class. These new experiences not only brought excitement, but also made him realize that there was still so much potential for him to grow. 7. Prioritizing physical and mental health. After years of neglecting his health due to work, Joseph realized that health is the most valuable asset. He started engaging in activities such as morning walks, practicing yoga, and eating healthily. These changes not only improved his physical health, but also brought clarity and balance to his mind. 8. Connecting with family and community. Joseph understood that close relationships bring warmth and meaning to life. He spent more time with his children and grandchildren, sharing valuable lessons and precious memories. Additionally, he joined community activities, from volunteering at the local library to supporting other senior citizens. 9. Focusing on true values. Finally, Joseph realized that life shouldn't be dictated by competition or societal pressures. He chose to focus on true values, such as gratitude, love, and inner peace. Each day, he spent time reflecting and journaling, recording the things he was grateful for. Joseph shared, "Life is a journey, and I want to walk the rest of the path in the most meaningful and fulfilling way possible." Joseph's story is a reminder that old age is not an end, but a new beginning. These 9 lessons not only brought him peace and happiness, but also gave new meaning to his life. If you find this story inspiring, please share it and subscribe to Life Stories 365 to explore more valuable lessons about life. Old age is an opportunity to live authentically, meaningfully, and to cherish what truly matters. Ultimately, Mr. Joseph learned a profound lesson. Life after 70 is not an ending, but a new beginning full of meaning. "I've learned to slow down, love myself more, and truly savor each moment," he shared with a gentle smile on his face, one that had weathered many ups and downs. Joseph no longer worried about pleasing others or chasing the standards imposed by society. He accepted himself with all his imperfections, and that was the greatest liberation of his life. He began to cherish each day as a precious gift. Every morning, as sunlight streamed through his window, he felt grateful for the opportunity to live and experience. Joseph shared that gratitude was the key to overcoming difficult times. "I am grateful for everything in life, the sorrows and the joys, because they are all valuable lessons," he said. Instead of dwelling on what he had lost, he focused on what he still had: his health, his family, and the chance to live a meaningful life. He emphasized that practicing gratitude is not something that comes naturally. It must be cultivated every day. Joseph began keeping a gratitude journal where he recorded even the smallest joys, such as the smile of his grandchild or the warmth of a morning cup of tea. Not only did Joseph transform his own life, but he also inspired those around him. His old friends, seeing the positive changes in Joseph, began to reflect on their own lives. One close friend confided, "You made me realize that it's never too late to change. Thank you for helping me see life in a new way." Joseph also became involved in community activities, volunteering at senior centers and mentoring younger generations on how to live a meaningful life. He believed that happiness wasn't just about living for oneself, but also about helping others find joy in their own lives. Joseph often told those around him, "You don't have to wait until you're 70 to start over. No matter your age or your current circumstances, you can always choose a new beginning." His message wasn't just for seniors, but for anyone feeling stuck or lost in life. He encouraged people to pause, reflect on what truly matters, and begin making changes from the smallest steps. You can start by writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day, or by trying something you've always thought you couldn't do. "Small steps lead to big transformations," he said. Joseph's story isn't just a personal journey. It's a reminder that everyone has the power to take control of their life. No matter how many challenges, losses, or disappointments you've faced, life always offers the opportunity to start anew. If you ever feel that life is too heavy or directionless, look to Joseph's story for inspiration. Remember that you don't have to be perfect, don't have to please everyone, and don't have to own everything to feel happy. True happiness comes from accepting yourself and living life on your own terms. If this story has inspired you, please hit like and subscribe to Life Stories 365. We are here to share stories about life journeys, self-discovery, and finding true happiness. Joseph's story is just one of the many meaningful tales we want to bring to you. Let these stories remind you that every new beginning is within your reach, no matter your age. Start your journey today. It doesn't matter where you begin. What matters is that you begin. Join the Life Stories 365 community, where we share experiences, lessons, and inspiration to live a more meaningful life. Because life isn't just about surviving, it's about fully living every moment. Together, we can create a beautiful and meaningful journey. Start your path to discovering life's purpose with Life Stories 365.